back to On the Fly. Today we're taking a look at Day 5 of the World Junior Championship, currently being held in Halifax and Moncton. So hopping right on into it with the scores from today's game, we're going to start in Group B with Slovakia knocking off Latvia 3-0. And in this game, it was the determinant of the relegation spot in Group B. The winner of it would have moved on. In this case, it was Slovakia, with Latvia headed to relegation for the first time since 2020 for the COVID year. So we'll sort of see that transpire. I don't really see too much of a problem for Latvia, although I have been known to eat my words recently. So we'll see if Latvia can pull it off in the relegation stage coming up against Austria. But with that being said, I don't think they have too much to worry about. If they can play sort of like they did against the Slovaks while still finishing their chances, I think Latvia should be well on their way to another year at the juniors. But with that being said, this game was really just a solid game overall. But the unfortunate part for Latvia is that they could not finish their chances, and that's really the storyline of today. Whether or not you could finish your chances resulted in if you could win or not, and both losing teams at least, that was their biggest problem, is they could not finish their chances. They had plenty of chances, plenty of high-quality chances, just could not finish it. Yeah, as for Slovakia, not necessarily playing their worst hockey today, not necessarily their best. If they can play like they did against the U.S. in the quarterfinals, it's going to be interesting to see how they do. I think there's no reason why they can't move up along and make it into a pretty solid position overall. But with that being said, we're going to have to see Slovakia play their game. And we'll see sort of if they can play the way they played against Latvia. I don't really see them going very far. But if they play like they did against the U.S., there's no reason why they cannot go extremely far in this tournament. But with that being said, we move along to the second game of the day. And this was the Group A relegation spot determinant, with Germany beating Austria 4-2, and in this game really wasn't necessarily a normal Austria showing like we're used to seeing. In this game, it was a lot more about sort of Austria playing to their level, and they really held Germany to a standard for the most part in this game. They were very evenly matched. Desperation kicked in around 10 minutes left, and Austria just completely controlled the game, really for the first time we've seen in this tournament. But at the same time, Germany, still the more skilled team, still able to knock off Austria. And I think whoever comes top spot in Group B, having to play Germany, as who's going to be the bottom seed in Group A, I don't think there will be too much to worry about in terms of that. I think the top team in Group B is going to have a relatively easy way to the semis if they play Germany. But once again, I've eaten my words a lot over the last little while, so it'll definitely be interesting to see what goes on there. But we'll sort of move along here to the Group A standings, with Sweden in first place with 8 points, Czechs and Canada with 7 and 6, and then Germany, who just recently clinched a playoff spot today, with 3 points after the regulation win. And unfortunately for Austria, no points, and they are going to be stuck in the relegation spot playing Latvia. So we'll move along here to Group B now, with Finland in first place with 7, Slovakia in second with 6, as well as the U.S., but Slovakia does have the tiebreaker over the U.S. We have in fourth place Switzerland, and last place, who's going to the relegation spot, with Latvia. So still lots to be determined for tomorrow's games, a lot of seeding that still has to be arranged. So definitely stay tuned. We'll sort of look at the games for tomorrow. We have it coming up at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Switzerland and the Slovaks. On top of that, we have Germany and the Czechs coming up at 1:30. At 4 o'clock, we have the U.S. and Finland, probably going to be the game of the day and the second game of the day, coming up at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time between Canada and Sweden. Both those games are going to determine the top spot in Group A and Group B, most likely, unless, of course, the Czechs can win their game. If Canada ends up beating the Swedes, Czechs win their game, Czechs go to first, Canada goes to second, Sweden goes to third, which is definitely going to be something to pay attention to, especially because there's a lot of moving parts right now in that both Group A and Group B. A lot of possible scenarios still to happen. So definitely stay tuned. Come back tomorrow for a full recap. And if I don't see you before New Year's hits, Happy New Year's to all of you. But we'll take a look at the notes from today before we get too far. We'll go quarterfinal teams both been set. Relegation teams been set. And lastly, Samuel Hauser is out for Slovakia. So it's unfortunate for him. He's been out the rest of the tournament with an upper body injury. Unfortunately, will not return. So hopefully he can get better. Hopefully he can be back playing for his team. But at the same time, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. If you'd like to drop a like, if you really like to consider subscribing, tell all your friends and comment down below your thoughts on Day 5 of the World Junior Championship. Until next time, see ya.